Hi, I'm Brianna, and this is Bullet Points. If you haven't already heard, Mr. Osborne will be leaving Bullitt East sometime soon. Mr. Osborne has been a World Civ teacher here at Bullitt East for 10 years. He has taught many classes, some including World Civ and Psychology. When asked his reason for leaving, he said, "I think it's time. I've been here for 10 years and I feel like Jefferson County may have better opportunities for me." He also went on to say, "What I'm going to miss most about Bullitt East is the students. I believe that we have some of the best students here at Bullitt East, and great staff, amazing teachers, custodians, and cafeteria staff. I almost broke into tears telling the Sci-Fi Club." Mr. Osborne will be going to Fern Creek High School as soon as a new teacher is hired to fill his place. Mr. Osborne will be missed greatly here at Bullitt East, but we would like to wish him the best of luck in the future of his career.
Jump man, jump man, jump man. This boy's up to something.
School lunches. Some love them, some hate them, but lately students have been talking about school lunches in a not so good way. For example, a student recently bought a 2-week expired bag of sliced apples. Also, students have been questioning why we can have cookies and sodas, but aren't allowed to have a single packet of salt. So I decided to ask Sheila Newton, the cafeteria manager, some questions about these controversial issues. When I asked her thoughts on the expired apples, Sheila said, "That was an oversight on our part, and we are extremely sorry for it, and all of them went into the garbage as soon as we were notified." Also, when asked about the salt packet problem, she said, "I think there should be more leniency. I think to a certain extent you are old enough to make those decisions and what's best for your life and what's not. But that's the federal government." If you didn't already know, the cafeteria staff have no control over what they make and serve each week. So next time you get upset with school lunches, either bring it to the federal government or just bring your own lunch.
A few moments later.
Halloween in the halls has been a big tradition here at Bullitt East, and with it coming up right around the corner, students and teachers are already staying after school almost every day, painting, gluing, and creating wonderful decorations for the fantastic event. There are only 4 themes this year due to houses being changed, but it'll still be as fun as ever. This year, the freshman house will be doing gaming of all different types, sophomores are doing Disney princesses and villains, juniors are doing Disney's Moana, and seniors are doing Disney's Trolls. I talked to Miss Capito, who is the headmaster for the senior house, and she said, "I look forward to this every year. I look forward to seeing my students get excited to make stuff and decorate and dress up and to interact with the kids that come through. And of course, I love seeing the cute kids in their costumes. Halloween in the halls this year was so much fun and a huge success. Tune in next week for some exclusive footage of the event from Trevor and Andrew." That's all I have for your bullet points. Now here's Trevor with the Red Zone Sports Report.
On Wednesday, October 18th, the Bullitt East ladies soccer team took on Butler High School in the regional semifinal game. It was a hard-fought battle, and Bullitt East pulled out the win by a score of 2-0. Bailey Chitwood and Addison Pruitt both scored 1 goal for Bullitt East. I talked to one of the soccer players about the win, and they said, "I'm glad that we got the win, and now we just got to win the championship if we want to make it to the state tournament." Speaking of the championship, the ladies soccer team played North Bullitt on Friday, October 20th in the 6th Region Championship game. It was a very close match, but the Lady Chargers lost by a score of 1-0 against North Bullitt. The ladies played their hardest in that game, and they should be proud of making it into the regional final. So good job, ladies, on a great season. Now on to the Red Zone Field Report, and then on to this week's Red Zone Scoreboard.
So talk to us about this pink out because it seems very important.
Pink Out was definitely a very big project for SLAM. We took it on this year, especially as our first year, hitting our feet and running. It was really exciting. A lot of us took on certain things on our own, and we were really driven with what we had to do. It has taken a lot of us and drained a lot of our bodies physically and mentally, but we finally made it, and we're really excited about how tonight's going, and we're really excited to see how it plays out throughout fall break.
Thank you very much, Avery.
President Donald Trump announced Friday that he will decertify the controversial Iran nuclear deal and accuse the radical and fanatical regime of violating the agreement multiple times. We will not continue down a path whose predictable conclusion is more violence, more terror, and the very real threat of Iran's nuclear breakthrough, Trump said from the White House. Trump's decision not to recertify the deal gives the future of the agreement to Congress, which can decide whether to end the agreement or impose more sanctions on Iran. But he did warn that he could cancel the country's involvement in the agreement at any time. It was a bad deal to begin with, said Mr. Edwards about the deal. It expires in 15 years anyway, so Iran could just do whatever they want after that. Even then, we didn't put any mandatory base inspections in place. All we did was load them up with cash and said they could do anything they wanted with it. This agreement has caused tension among the political parties on both sides and seemed to get more tense the more Congress gets involved. President Trump signed an executive order last Thursday morning that he said would begin, quote, saving the American people from the nightmare of Obamacare, end quote. On Thursday evening, he announced he would stop making scheduled payments to insurance companies that help them lower deductibles for low-income customers. There's a lot that's still uncertain about how the two actions will change the health law. Quote, I definitely approve of the removal of Obamacare. It's been a terrible disaster causing people's health care prices to skyrocket, says Grant Hatter. So yes, get rid of it, but we still need a replacement health care plan, and I think he's in the process of doing that, end quote. We'll see what kind of ideas are talked about in the health care reform in the Trump presidency. Now here's Anthony with his Untitled Music segment.
I am Anthony, and welcome to the first edition of Anthony's Music segment with me. First week, we're going to talk about Louder Than Life. September 30th through October 1st, 2017 was the weekend for Louder Than Life, and it was amazing. I got to see Eagles of Death Metal, Gojira, Mastodon, Rob Zombie, Ozzy Osbourne, Stone Sour, Incubus, and Prophets of Rage. This is my second year going and the fourth year that the event has been going on. I was definitely excited to see Ozzy Osbourne and Zakk Wylde for the second time. I got there around 1 o'clock to meet up with my friends, but the real party didn't start until about 5 when Eagles of Death Metal went on. They were pretty cool, but around 6, Gojira, and oh wow, that was amazing. The crowd was rowdy and the pits were wide open. Later on, I saw Mastodon and Rob Zombie, and both put on a great show. But right after that, Ozzy Osbourne went on, and he put on a really good show. But the next day, it started a little later, not until about 4, when I saw not really anybody until Prophets of Rage later that night, and that was a crazy show to end off the weekend. I'd say Louder Than Life was a little bit better than last year, kind of crazy, but it was pretty good. But, last year was Slayer, and you can't really beat that, so that's all I got for this week. while I was at Louder Than Life, I got some really cool clips, so check them out. And after the clips, we'll head back to the main studio.
I'm Brianna.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Anthony.
And that was this week's Charger Report. The next show will be next Friday, November 3rd.